Hey everyone, Narya here. Today's episode is a little different. I've been getting a lot of questions about what does the test look like? What does it entail? What are things that you look out for? So what I want to do today is literally walk you through a test and kind of explain a few things that would stick out to me and how that would be included in the meal plan and in the supplement list. So let's do that today. All right, let's grab a test. Okay. So let's see, what is this? Okay. As you all probably already know, I do functional stool testing as a functional gut health registered dietitian. Specifically, I use BiomeFX. This is a test I've been using for a few years. Before this, I was using the GI map. And personally, just of course, my opinion, I feel like the BiomeFX tells me a little bit more about the whys, like why things are happening, not so much what is happening. So, for example, if food's not getting digested, okay, but why? That's what I want to know because once I understand the why better, the root problem, then I can really be efficient in creating the protocol, which is, of course, the personalized meal plan and the list of supplements. So, my goal, friends, honestly, is to get people feeling better within like 2 to 3 weeks. And it's worked. So, I will probably be hanging out with this test for a while. All right. So for this test, I'm just going to point out a few things here. Usually this takes me quite some time to kind of pinpoint things through and so forth, but I'm going to give you a nice little summary and you'll be able to see the screen so that way you can maybe pause and kind of look over some things on your spare time. Okay. So I really appreciate how it gives a list of keystones. So for those of you who are new to the gut health realm or, just aren't too familiar with keystones and all these random words, keystones just essentially means microbes, bacteria. Like what bacteria are in your gut? Are they too low or too high? And even if it's a good bacteria, we still want to have it in a healthy balance. We don't want it too low or too high. So for this individual, let me back up here. You can see that their list of keystones that were out of range was pretty high. So, for example, one of the really popular ones is Akkermansia right now, and I mean, probably forever. But specifically, friends, this is where people get confused. Akkermansia muciniphila. There's different types, but this specific microbe lets us know if there's leaky gut. So, in short, if your Akkermansia muciniphila is low, that's a sign you have leaky gut. And there's a different page which we'll go over in a second that lets us know, is it low, is it not detected, or like what's going on. But essentially here I can see that okay, this person has leaky gut. There's all types of imbalances. You can see that most of them are low. So in short, we want to take a step back for a second. Microbes have a job. So Akkermansia muciniphila has a job. And if it's not there, then who's doing the job? Some microbes are responsible for producing short chain fatty acids, vitamin production. Sometimes with certain microbes, if there's maybe a slow digestion, they may be munching, eating on foods too much. So maybe protein, fermentation, fiber, and so forth. And when that gets too high, that can lead to inflammation. Those byproducts can cause a lot of problems. So ensure, think about it this way. Let's say in the gut you need, or let's say you're building a house and you need 10 workers and you only have two. That house is probably going to take forever to get built. And when it's built, it's probably not going to be too good, right? I don't know if I trust two people that are overworked and tired. So the goal here is to see who is low. What are they supposed to do? What's their job in our gut, in our entire body to try to bring it back up? Now, in short, for this section, keystones mean bacteria, microbes. You can see that there's a lot of lows here. In an ideal world, there would be nothing in this list. Nothing. So this lets us know we have a lot of work to do. This itself, even if I never met the individual or never talked to them, I would already pre-know that there is a good amount of stuff going on in his entire life. Because when I see these lists, I know that it's at a point that the problems didn't just are not just in the digestive system. They're starting to leach out to other areas, maybe brain fog, fatigue, irritability, acne. I mean, it's going to leak out sooner or later if you do not deal with it. So now we are going to go to the functions. So functions means job. So remember, bacteria, keystones, have a job. They have a function. And again, in an ideal world, we don't have anything in this list. You can see that the list is pretty high. And unfortunately, the specific things that I'll name a few that are triggering to kind of look at, or not triggering, but concerning. Let's say the hydrogen sulfide, that could be a sign of SIBO, the indole, the picrestol, propionate, polyamine. These are things that lets me know there's a lot of inflammation happening in this individual's digestive system. And this type of highs, or this amount of highs, lets me know it's leaking out in other areas. There's graphs in a second I'll show you that lets us know how high is it, because it could be a little bit high to where, okay, maybe it's just starting, or is it really high to where this person has probably had it for years, has never found real answers, maybe just regular continued colonoscopies over and over, endoscopies over and over, PPIs over and over, Miralax over and over. Like, you get the point. Like, who's actually paying attention to the micro level? Because obviously this is a huge problem. And that's why most individuals continue to have digestive problems. Because when you go to your regular doctor, after they rule everything big out, which you must do, by the way, please go to your GI doctor. After they do that, if they can't resolve your issues, then it's just like, go home and just live with it. This is your life. Have fun. Yeah, no, thank you. They, in an ideal world, they would refer to functional providers like myself so we can do these tests and get you back to your life. So anyhow, the point here is there's a massive amount of inflammation. This person's going through a lot of pain, hence why, of course, they're working with me. My goal is to get them their life back and resolve all these issues. Now let's go on down a little bit. Okay, let's see. I'll touch on this for a second because I think this is really interesting. You see this graph here? I always point this out to my clients. This graph lets us know where this individual's at. So this individual's at 126. Most healthy Americans, which is not like the standard, right, in the world, we really want to do more. But let's say for a healthy American, because that's where we're at, a healthy amount would be 150 to 250. But the goal is to go up here. You see this 350? Now, that being said, right now it's 2025, June. I've never seen a 350. Why? Well, there's a lot of different reasons. Number one, people work with me because they have a lot of digestive issues, meaning they don't have a pristine gut. So, of course, there wouldn't be at 350. But also, like the fiber goals we have in the United States, or even I don't even know what it is in other countries, it's really low tier. Like 25 for women or 26 for women. Men, I think it's like 30, 32. Usually when people work with me, if they can tolerate it, it's a minimum of 40. Like, if you have no digestive issues and you're working with me for other longevity reasons, dude, you're at least at 50. That, like, let's push for fruits and veggies. What is going, like, don't be scared of fruits and veggies, right? So anyhow, this individual, you can see they were under that. So again, there's a lot going on in the gut. There's not enough diversity. There's no one protecting this individual, because at the end of the day, who we are, how we feel is really dictated by the microbes. That's just what it is. Okay. Now, we also get to see pathogens. This individual, you can see there's a massive list of pathogens. Like, we want this to be, of course, at a zero. Now, because there's pathogens here, his first step, or this person's first step, would be to do a kill phase. Remember, there's 3 steps in most cases when you work with the gut health provider. Sometimes there's more steps, but it's the same path. Like, okay. So for this individual, it would be cleaning everything up, like trying to get rid of some of this, literally doing some kill phases to bring these back to healthy levels. It doesn't necessarily mean we want them all at zero, because some of them we do want them at a small range because they can produce healthy things for our body. But when they are given the opportunity to overgrow, like in this case, they go a little rogue. Okay. And they cause a lot of inflammation, and inflammation is not it because then we feel like crap, and that affects us, our families, our friends, our coworkers. Literally, like when we're driving and we're like annoyed because of pain, the driver next to you, and the driver next to you is probably like, sorry. And you're like, I have inflammation. Right. So, anyhow, yes, for this individual, we were going to have to do a kill phase because this is way too much. And again, going from the first page I showed you guys, talking and reviewing this page, I mean, dude, the pain is real. I mean, I just don't know what other, like, there's no other simple way to say it. There's a lot of pain going on here. So there's a lot to do. There's a lot to do. But good thing they're working with me. I've done this a lot of times. So I'm definitely excited that they found me. Oh, also, just a little note for you if you want to take a pause here and just take a peek. Full list of pathogen species tested. So this is everything that the test considers or looks into. Okay, I this is one of my favorite pages. I mean, I think I've said that a few times, but it's true. Okay, functional oh my gosh, keystone species. So remember we said keystones mean bacteria, microbes, and we also said that functions mean job. So think of it this way. These are the bacteria and this is their job. So GABA production, acetate producer, bile acid metabolism. This is their job. Look at how many say not detected. So what this means is these guys have jobs and no one's showing up to work. Everybody's like, yeah, I'm good. No. Yeah, no. 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 So unfortunately for this individual, nothing good is happening in the gut because no one's there to do it. Poor little guy over here, this is trying to produce some GABA, but oh gosh, okay, how do I go back? Okay, well, you guys just pause and go back if you want to see what that word said. This is there and it's a little bit too high. And I think the question also asks if something is too high, why? Is it trying to overcompensate for something like why? More research is needing, so I can't like say, oh, this is exactly what it means. No. But at the end of the day, you can see that basically none of them are detected. And you can see down here, we talked about how Akkermansia muciniphila lets us know if there's leaky gut. There's nothing detected. Sometimes it's like, oh, trying to hang in there for dear life. But here there's not detected. So this person is literally going through it all. Inflammation, leaky gut, food's not getting digested, bloating, 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 bloating. Like there's no way. Like this is so much going on. And this individual in particular has been going through this for years. Okay? For years. And this hasn't been done. Has not been done to him or for him. It just like literally blows my mind that like doctors, dude, just like take a consideration or consider looking into this, not for you to do it, but for you to refer because this can change your patient's life. Okay, like it's okay to say, dude, I don't know. Let me refer. It's okay versus, oh, you have IBS, go live with it. Dude, come on. Like friends, doctors, providers, this exists these days. If you don't have the answer, it's okay. Refer this person. If this person would have found a functional provider, they probably would have been living their best life right now. But unfortunately, they didn't. And it's just worsened over the last who knows how many years. Sorry, guys, I just get annoyed because when people work with me, they're going through so much and it's so rare. I would say like 1% of time, their doctors say, oh, go look into functional testing. I can't even recall right now the last time that even happened. Usually I'm the first one that talks to people about this. And sometimes I have people on the phone just crying saying, why did why did you have to be why were you the first person to tell me about this? I've gone to multiple GI doctors, multiple primary care doctors, and not one had the like little bright idea of looking or considering, hey, maybe look into this. I think at the end of the day, it's just the world we live in. And it's hard to accept. I don't think it's something that we should just fully accept because we should always push for these things. But anyhow, I'm veering away. Let's get back to this. Let's get back to this. So on the first page, I showed you how some things were high or low. This page lets us know exactly how high or how low. That lets me know how severe the problem is. So I'll just kind of show it here so that way you can take a pause and look. They're pretty high. I mean, they're pretty high. Yeah. So let me see if there was another page here. But again, like you guys can see, just like even if you're like, I have no idea what this all this means, just look at the graphs. Like, look how high this is. Red. Look at this one over here. Hydrogen. Through the roof. Gosh. And it gives us more information there. And I could do a different video there, but it'll definitely be a lot of information if I just blast you guys up with everything. But I think one of the things, friends, is when I review a test, I look over everything, right? Like what types of proteins do we need to reduce? How much protein do we need to eat? Because sometimes we can eat too much protein if your body's not digesting it properly. And also the type of protein can also impact the type of fermentation that happens. So many times at first, I have to slightly reduce the protein for some people. Sometimes like this one will be pretty intense where it's going to be pretty reduced. And also fiber. Like fiber is key to life, but during stages like this, fiber is not it at first. We have to do that kill phase. So for this individual, they're going to have a kill phase, and that's going to be different supplements to try to kill those things off. After we see improvements, then we go to step two, which is starting to plant seeds. Think of like if you have a garden and you want to like put some more roses. I don't know, and there's weeds and stuff growing around there, and you put some more water, you put all this stuff so it can grow. The weeds are going to be like, let's go, let's grow. No, the first step is to remove the weeds. Same in the gut. You have to remove that. Otherwise, you're literally feeding everything and everything's just going to continue to overgrow. And you're like, oh, why do I still feel horrible after adding prebiotics, probiotics, and all this whole foods? Because you didn't do step one. You didn't do it. So of course you don't feel good. So step one for this person or anyone who's in a similar position is a kill phase. It is what it is. Now, how long does it last? This one's going to be a little intense. I'm not going to lie to you guys, but it can be anywhere from a few weeks. Sometimes we have to try to do it over and over because sometimes you just don't want to die. Many times we have to do integrative medicine to where I have my patient take this test to their GI doctor, and their GI doctor will prescribe some type of antibiotic to try to kill some things off. And while they're on an antibiotic, if they're working with me, I help them do certain protocols or certain steps to try to keep as many as the good bacteria as possible, because you can do certain things while you're on an antibiotic to try to not kill everything off, but most people don't do that. Most doctors have no idea what that even means and then just say take the antibiotic and then we'll restore after, and then they never restore because they don't even know what that means. Anyway, kill phase number one. Number two, we want to start to put seeds in the ground. That's number two. And that could look like anything from adding some more supplements, maybe certain probiotics. I wouldn't necessarily throw in fiber, but it may include some fiber. Step number three, it's now we're putting water on the roses, sun on the roses. Let's go. Let's grow it up there. Let's do prebiotics for sure. What type of prebiotics, friends? A lot of my recommendations for prebiotics, fiber powders are going to be dependent on what microbes are and or are not there. Because remember, keystones bacteria like certain foods. Some like reds, some like purple, some like whites, some like yellows. Microbes have their own personality like you do, okay? So if there's certain microbes, like let's say for this individual, Akkermansia muciniphila wasn't there, so what I would do is, okay, let's first do the kill phase. Let's start to lay a nice foundation for Akkermansia to want to grow and to want to stay in your gut. So we would add a lot of reds because Akkermansia muciniphila loves reds. And I would do that same thought process with all the different microbes. So that way you can start to actually heal. The microbes can actually start to get in your gut, stay in your gut, and produce those byproducts that we want. So when you're thinking, let me just grab a probiotic from the shelf, it'll resolve my gut issues. If it resolves your gut issues, you've been touched by the stars. Let me say that. Let me just say that. But for most people dealing with digestive issues, it's going to be a deeper approach like this. And I can tell you, this approach helps most of my clients, like 99.9% of them, feel better within 2 to 3 weeks. It really does. I mean, it's just, dude, I think if insurance companies cover this and taught doctors how to do this, most of you wouldn't be watching this video. You wouldn't be in those Facebook groups. You wouldn't be in Reddit. You wouldn't be on Google Googling all this stuff, or you wouldn't be on ChatGTP on what probiotics, what blah, 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 blah. You wouldn't be doing that because you would be having fun. You wouldn't be worried about your digestive issues. So I hope that brought a little bit of light on the process that I personally take to resolve my clients' digestive issues. And one provider to the next may be a little bit different, but at the end of the day, we all have the same goal. We want to get you better. We want to get you back to life. We want you, going out and not worrying about the bathroom or being able to wear your cute clothes and tight clothes without worrying about looking 9 months pregnant or going to work out, which I'm about to do, by the way, as you can tell, and feel fine. That's what we want. Okay. So any questions you have, definitely drop them below. I'm going to drop my Instagram link. I think there's so much resources that I provide for everyone dealing with digestive issues. And I like to plant seeds on what's possible because sometimes I'm the first person that people hear about that with when it comes to the functional digestive world and how to heal with functional testing. So friends, questions, drop them. Otherwise, I'll see you on my Instagram. Bye.